one of the first things that stands out to us continually is the dignity that they share and that they truly see in the Haitian people. When you go talk to anyone from 6 Degrees, it is always about the assets of the people and the needs of the community versus other organizations that I've heard from or talked to or been exposed to can lean more into the starving children or the people are without so much. 6 Degrees really takes a perspective of we have so much and they have so much. How can we work together for the future of the community and the children?
Welcome to the Give and Grow DSM podcast, the show where we share compelling stories of the nonprofits shaping Iowa's future. Host Siobhan Spain dedicates 3 episodes to each organization, offering listeners unique perspectives through interviews with the nonprofit's leader, an active donor, and a beneficiary of its programming. Give and Grow DSM is a philanthropic initiative founded by Andy and Sarah Suzanne and the RIA Group, dedicated to serving the organizations and individuals in our community who need it most. Learn more and listen in at giveandgrowdsm.com. Welcome to Give and Grow DSM. I'm your host, Siobhan Spain. You're listening to the second of 3 episodes dedicated to the nonprofit 6 Degrees of Separation. For the past 10 years, 6 Degrees has worked to build a successful and sustainable school system in Labiche, Haiti. The organization was created as a result of the devastating earthquake in Haiti that happened in 2010. 6 local women decided to find a way to help. 6 Degrees is run by a volunteer board with 100% of their donations going towards their mission. The organization continues to grow its impact and focus on its sustainability goals. They recently purchased land for the school with plans to build new classrooms, add solar power and internet connectivity, in addition to exploring ways to grow its own food. So an important part of this podcast is to encourage listeners to get involved with the causes they care about. One way to do this is share the stories of passionate donors. Today, we welcome 6 Degrees donor, Andrea Joseph. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So let's just start by telling the listeners a little bit about yourself. What do you do in Des Moines? How did you get connected with 6 Degrees?
Yes, so I am an instructional coach at Meredith Middle School. I've worked for DMPS for 11 years now and have since fallen in love with the Des Moines community and serving our students and helping to raise the next generation of children here. And I think that is a really nice segue into the mission of 6 Degrees of helping raise the next generation of children in Haiti. And when I was introduced to 6 Degrees, I was thinking about all of the experiences that I've had both when I was in Haiti and hearing about or learning from organizations that are building schools in Haiti, connections that I have with other children who have been educated in Haiti and in some private organizations, and their stories coming out of those organizations, and noticed that 6 Degrees was really doing something different. And it was really attractive to me and my family, and we knew that we had to get involved in what they were doing.
That's awesome. So tell me, what is different? What are the different things that stand out about 6 Degrees?
So one of the first things that stands out to us continually is the dignity that they share and that they truly see in the Haitian people. When you go talk to anyone from 6 Degrees, it is always about the assets of the people and the needs of the community versus other organizations that I've heard from or talked to or been exposed to can lean more into the starving children or the people are without so much. 6 Degrees really takes a perspective of we have so much and they have so much. How can we work together for the future of the community and the children?
That's great. I can see that, how that would stand out as a unique approach. I think, does it have anything have to do with the fact that they connected to Labiche through a local here? That seemed to be a pretty pivotal aspect that made them have such a genuine connection, and also almost like an interpreter in more ways than one of what Haitian people, and especially in that area of Haiti, are like and what they need and how to help them the most without getting in the way.
For sure. That was another thing that really drew us into 6 Degrees is I spend a lot of my time working cross-culturally in DMPS, and doing that work has provided a lot of experience for me in that idea of being a learner, coming from the United States and being a learner across cultures and building trusting relationships and partnering with people instead of assuming that maybe I know best or I know more or I know better. And we can see that at the heart of 6 Degrees, of this partnership across the cultures, both here and in Haiti, and the trust and the relationships they've built in the community to really make an impact that's sustainable for the future.
Yeah, you're just confirming what Jane has said in the last interview, and I've already spoken with Oz, which will come out after yours. So it's really nice. There's just such a continuum of that thread that has been a priority.
And I think that speaks to that genuine piece that has continued to draw us in, is when these interviews have happened separately and there wasn't coordination between us on the stories or what drew us to this community, but that piece shines through in all three conversations.
Excellent. So you're a donor.
Yes.
What do you like about, other than that genuine aspect, like what makes you donate to organization? What do you look for, other than the mission? Do you take a look at their financials? Who's on the board? Do you get very analytical about it, or do you just go with your gut?
A combination of a couple of different factors. Most of it is just a gut feeling, but based in prior experience of thinking about who's on the board. Is it a diverse board? Are there members from the community on the board? When we think about the financials of an organization, looking both at how they've spent the money and grown over the last 10 years in the case of 6 Degrees, but then also thinking about their forward planning of they have taken the small amount that they had in the beginning and have been continually intentional in growing in meaningful and sustaining ways to impact the children first and the community, and then have taken the realities of how Haiti has changed in the last 10 years. There have been some very significant changes, and they have taken those and continued to invest in the work. And I think in the last year that has really stood out to me is there have been a lot of reasons to not continue. There have been a lot of challenges in systems, in the communities, in the country, and many organizations are pulling out and pulling back, and they're continuing to press in and to build towards the future. And that is important for where we put the money, is we're not just throwing money at a problem, we're investing in people and livelihoods and futures of children and futures of the country. And we see that 6 Degrees is doing that as well as you can be from across an ocean.
Well, that's great. And it sounds like you've been to Haiti.
Yes.
How many times, and when's the last time you've been? Because I know it's been difficult recently.
Yes. So the first time I went was in 2018, and I went with a mission team.
Okay.
And we spent about a week there. And then the last time was more for a pleasure vacation in 2022.
Okay. What do you like about Haiti?
I love the slowed down pace of life, the community aspects of just having people around. In Des Moines, there aren't people just in the neighborhoods. In our neighborhood here, you may see one or two people walking down the street. Mm-hmm. When I sit in a house in a neighborhood in Haiti, there's always people. There are always people walking up and down the street, stopping to talk. The community is out and together and working on problems together, just doing life together. And that is really attractive. And I feel like every time I am there, I am surprised in such a positive way about what's happening in the country and the lived experiences of people there. We have, when we think of Haiti particularly, in America, we have a vision of what it might look like.
Of course.
And that has always been challenged each time I'm there.
Nice. I bet that's exciting to experience. So what do you make of the current situation, and do you think you'll be able to go back anytime soon?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope we will be able to go back soon. I think that the current realities, not dissimilar to many places.
Yeah.
There's the political aspect in a centralized location, and then there's the lived experience of people in all the communities in the rest of the country. And Haiti is very unique in that communities are fairly isolated from each other. Mm-hmm. And so what's happening in the capital is likely not the lived experience of people in other communities.
Okay.
And also the impacts that those situations have on people outside of the community. So it's a both and, right? Like,
right.
There's the stories that we see in the news that are isolated in one area. And then there's the broader aspects of a president being assassinated.
Right.
And no president being put in place since. That make far-reaching impacts on the lives of people.
Yeah, absolutely. So what progress has been made since then? Any? Because I had a hard time figuring out, as I did some research, what progress is happening, if any.
I don't know many of the specific details.
Yeah.
I know there has been a committee who's been put together to restabilize the government, to appoint a president. I know that many nations, including the United States, are involved in stabilizing some of the violence that's happening there. As far as the specifics, I don't know enough to speak confidently on those things.
Yeah, it seems pretty complicated.
Yes.
And not easily transparent.
Correct.
Either. We were just talking about logistics too, with Jane and Oz, and I just am fascinated by how do you communicate? And there's no power, there's no water. I mean, it is a very different living situation than here.
Yes.
And I can imagine how community might be stronger as a result, just because you live a much simpler life, right? You're not bombarded with all these distractions on the, being connected to the world by just picking up a device.
Yes.
Is very different than not having that and being able to just be present in your community, right?
Yes. And I think that speaks to more of the complexities of life in Haiti. And I think broader in any community, in any culture, in any country, is there's experiences lived by different people in different areas and based on who your parents are or the city or the town that you were born in, if you have a rural experience or a city experience. So my experiences there were predominantly in cities.
Okay.
And so Labiche is a small town in a rural village.
Yeah.
And so when I was there, everyone had a phone.
Okay.
Everyone had access to
connectivity
in some way, or running water, and there was a lot of more resources. That was one of the many things that always surprises me, is the amount of resources that are available in a city compared to what we may think about in Haiti.
Okay.
Where the experience in a rural area can be very different.
Okay.
And so from what I've heard from 6 Degrees about Labiche, it's very different from what I have experienced.
Okay. Well, that's great to know, just to be able to paint a bigger picture of the experience in Haiti and how people are living down there. And that the variety is quite indeed there and present.
Yes.
So you got to know 6 Degrees, and what were you excited about the most about what the future holds for them?
Yes. I am most excited about the access to, it's twofold. I can't really choose, both the access to internet and sustainable food growth.
Right.
I think this idea of growing your own food on campus is such a strong response to the realities of life in Haiti right now.
They mentioned that food is so expensive too.
Yes.
And so to be able to control a little bit more of that resource sounds pretty smart.
Yes. This is a story that I tell a lot of my first experience in Haiti. We got to go to a market, and I was blown away by the amount of food that was available to people.
Okay.
So when you hear that food is expensive or that 6 Degrees is trying to grow their own food, it's not because there isn't food available to people. It isn't that the ground isn't producing food. It's that the food that is being produced or the food that is imported is so expensive that it makes it prohibitive for most people in the communities. And so when an organization takes that understanding and says, we're not just going to try to import our own food, or, well, now we just can't provide meals for the kids like we used to. We're going to have to change our meal structure, or we can't continue to provide meals to families or food for families of our students. Instead, they say, how can we change our approach to continue doing the work that we're already doing? Is really important, because it says it continues to say, we value you. You are important, and we are here for no matter how long or what the situation looks like in Haiti. We're here with you in it.
That's great. Because I know, I can imagine you see trends. I mean, I hate using that word, but you know, who gets covered by the news and who gets the help. The hurricane that happened in 2010, that's a long time ago.
Yes.
Right? The fact that they're still there and really dedicated to that community and that continuity, and knowing that it may never be as stable as you want it to be. So why not help them long term? Because that community in the country does not have the stability that we have here, that we can count on here. Some things are just a given that we take for granted, right?
Yes.
It seems like that's another really great thread through 6 Degrees.
Yes. And then to speak to the internet, which was another draw for the future, I know of other schools that are still functioning in Haiti who may have a small computer lab, and just introducing students to what a computer is. But in this day and age, to be thinking through, how do we get students access to the internet, to teach them how to use the internet, to teach them how to use a computer and technology, is so valuable for the rest of their lives. Whether they stay in that community, whether they move to a city, whether they leave and move to another country, the abilities for their future that affords are immense.
Yeah, it just opens up the options.
Yes.
And that's what we hope for anybody, is that they have options in life, whether they decide to stay in the community or not, or move on. Yeah.
And it's unique to what they're doing. I have not seen another school that has that vision forward into giving children closer to what more developed countries have. Yes, so I think that these ideas around the future and how to respond to the current realities in Haiti grow out of the partnerships that we talked about earlier. Having Haitians here that are trusted and known, and a relationship with them, and trusted and known relationships with Haitians in Haiti and in the community help bring this vision forward.
Yeah.
And make it sustainable and help these dreams get realized.
Mm-hmm.
Because without these trusted and tried and true partnerships,
It's
organizations don't work. Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. You can see why it would be probably short term,
or not actually meeting the needs of the people in the community.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to me too. You know, Jane has been involved since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make sure it sustains past her interest? How does she pass it on?
Mm-hmm.
And the other founders, that's an aspect that comes into play as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I loved seeing that there was quite a variety of types of board members,
Mm-hmm.
young, old, different experiences, of
Mm-hmm.
course. And then the sustainability
Mm-hmm.
plays into that. Like, how do you make the organization that you're supporting more sustainable? That's on everybody's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even how do you earn an income?
Mm-hmm.
You know, never a bad thing if that can be incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you're a younger donor. You know, one thing in Des Moines that we've wanted to make sure that we have in the communication, in the conversations, is how do we cultivate the next generation of donors in Des Moines, because we have big shoes to fill.
Yes. Yeah. So for me and some of my peers, this relationship piece and this sustainability and trust are really important. And so we're not looking, at least I'm not looking to just send my money somewhere and say, I've done a good deed, but to make sure that that money is going to somewhere that's actually impacting in positive ways. Similarly to, I think, the founding of 6 Degrees, we have seen in our generation donations and relief being sent all around the world, and it sits, or it doesn't get to the right people, or it is misused. And that's nothing to say that the communities that it was sent to were not handling it properly. That's just a reality of our situation globally.
I do think that the complexity and the fact that technology and people are on the move, and you just imagine, like, I bet there are a lot of inefficiencies out there. And, you know, what Jane and her fellow founders experienced must have been so frustrating, but it really motivated them to act, right?
Yes. Yes.
And they wanted to see, just like you, what is happening, not just send it and feel good, but let's, like, check in. Let's see how we can actually move the needle.
Yes.
And, like, into the future, right?
Yes. And making sure that the people are impacted.
Yeah.
That it's not just, I'm going to send water for relief, but how are we going to build into recovery to rebuild the community and help it be self-sustaining? And ultimately, what I would love is if my money was no longer needed.
Yeah.
That the community could sustain
the goal.
itself, or any organization that I'm donating to. Ultimately, I would want to work out of that need, that people can live full and thriving and self-sustaining lives, and communities can be thriving and self-sustaining.
Right.
And not because I don't want to continue to give my money or my time or my efforts, but because I want them to not need them.
Well, that is the goal of each nonprofit's vision, right? Is that ideal world of where we want to live. Even though sometimes it's harder than Well, it's not harder than it sounds because it is, it's really difficult to affect change and have like fully successful visions. But you got to have that, right? You want that to happen. And sometimes it is a little bit easier based on the nonprofit mission. I can see that school being self-sustaining. That would be fantastic. I know Java had the vision of no more homelessness, right? Wouldn't that be great? It is possible.
Yes.
How do we work towards that? It's a huge reality in our community and nation, and you know, but it's nice to keep that vision in mind and not just like, hey, this is good enough. Right? So you find that your peers have a similar approach. That importance. And, you know, I've read news articles about younger donors being very interested in that component, like really wanting to know what's happening.
And the transparency and the genuine nature of the information being shared. Another thing that really draws me into 6 Degrees is just the genuine way that they talk about the work. It's, here's what we're doing, here's the need that we've seen, here's where we've been, here's where we want to go, here's stories from the people from the community. Do you want to join us? We would love to have you join.
So it's not playing on your emotions. It is emotional. Emotional connection. But it's not over acting in that way. And it really, I think when people are able to approach it like that, it is easier to trust. You don't feel like it's an ad, right? That's great. That's a good point to make.
And I don't feel like they're using the people of Labiche to get my money. I don't feel like the stories that they share about the children there are shared in a way to compel me to give my money. It's out of dignity and respect for these humans that they're partnering with and building up and growing into and providing opportunities for. And I just get to join in the work that they're doing. Versus going in and saving the children.
Well, that makes me think of another organization that we spoke with, which is Change Course, and how they're thinking of, you know, not reinventing the wheel, but maybe helping other nonprofits incorporate a lot of things of what they learned in the programming that they're doing and finding success with. And I can't help to think that 6 Degrees needs to have chapters or teach others how to do it in this manner that seems to be connecting with donors and really making an impact. I agree. Great. Good. This is such great insight. Again, so do you donate elsewhere? Is this kind of new to you? Are you new to being involved in the community? Give us a little picture of that.
So a lot of our donation is just money into hands or items into hands. So this is one of the only organizations that I donate to, but I dedicate my life and my work and my time and my resources to helping people in the community more directly. And I think it comes from that same idea of valuing the connection and the relationship and the genuine nature of, if when I give my time and my resources, I want to make sure that it impacts the lives of people and meets the needs that they actually have, not the needs that I assume that they have from my lens. Wow. That's such great insight. I'm glad you're in our community and helping 6 Degrees out. It seems like a win-win. I know it's not, a lot of times, not just about the money, but the connections that you make. And it's about being able to spread the word and help each other with knowledge, help each other with connections, help each other with just ideas about how to further that organization.
So I know when donors donate, it's a lot more than just the money.
For sure.
Yeah.
The money matters, and so does everything else.
Yeah, and so does everything else.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody that's interested in coming involved? How did you get involved? Did you go to an event?
Mm-hmm.
Did you volunteer? What does that look like? What are those opportunities?
So I knew Oz and Marlene before we knew about 6 Degrees. And so we had developed friendship and we're doing life together a little bit. And then through them was introduced to 6 Degrees and invited to an event and was shared information and just was drawn in from the relationship, but then really seeing what 6 Degrees was about. And we couldn't say no. We had to be a part.
Mm-hmm. I can see why that would be.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So their website is 6degreeshaiti.org. And I do think in May, it sounded like they have an event where people could come learn more.
Yes.
It's their annual fundraiser and report to the community. So I think even those that are not sure if they want to be involved, those annual events, I find it for nonprofits are such a great way for the community members to learn more because it's like this really great mini course that tells you where they've been, where they're going, and then you can see for yourself who's involved and start making those connections.
Yes, and it's a great opportunity to see the things that we've been talking about 6 Degrees, this genuine nature and this true passion for connection and trust building and education for the future. It all shines at their annual event.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to going myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for sharing your time and your insights with us. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So to our listeners, thanks for being here. You can listen to Give and Grow DSM on all your favorite platforms and also at our website at giveandgrowdsm.com.